Welcome to the Loop Lifestyle Podcast, the #1 podcast for diabetics who want to have their cake pop and eat it too. I'm your mentor, Stephanie Johnson. This podcast is recorded live on Instagram. We cover health, wealth, and relationships, the blueprint for transforming your life. So grab a pen and paper, take some notes. I hope you find some value in the information I'm sharing. Let's get into it. Welcome to Tilt, Transform Your Life Tuesday. I'm your mentor, Stephanie Johnson. I was talking to a friend recently and she told me about a guy who slid into her DMs. She didn't think anything of it and gave the guy her phone number. It was someone that we had met about 14 years ago when I first met my husband. He started asking her all these questions like, what's your favorite color? What do you like to do for fun? All the regular questions you might ask to get to know someone. Some of the questions she asked him were, aren't you married? Don't you have like 4 kids? Pretty funny, but also kind of sad that we find ourselves in situations where we even have to ask those kinds of questions, don't you think? But it's part of having conversations that matter, especially when we're dating. It's time to get to know each other, and it's key. Every interaction has the potential for us to discover more about each other. I know my husband and I, when we were first dating, we started out with the surface questions. We learned that we were both born in the same year and that we both like orange as our favorite color. He found out all about my pets, the horses, cats, dog, chinchilla, bird, all of it. But then we started to have deeper conversations. We started to talk about what we both wanted out of a relationship. At the time, he had told me that he wasn't the keeper type. And I said, we'll see about that. And here we are, almost 14 years later. But we didn't jump right into talking about things that could wait for further down the road. But we did have conversations that helped us grow together and work through things. Some of the things we did talk about were trust and what it meant to each of us. We both came from childhood trauma experiences, and trust was a key component that we wanted to cultivate. We talked about how conflict was handled in our families. My parents never let us see them fight, but that wasn't the case for my husband, whose mother would get drunk and violent. We talked about work, our jobs, our career goals. At the time, my husband was in the military, and he wasn't sure what the future held when it came to deployments or duty stations. Was I going to be willing to move all over the country? And could I be trusted to be faithful while he was away? We talked about our hopes and dreams. I always wanted a house with property in the country with horses, and he did too, and now we have that. We have 5 acres in the country and a barn not 5 minutes away. We talked about ways in which we could grow our personal development. I was in school for my master's in psychology, and my husband eventually decided he wanted to go for his bachelor's in engineering. These are just some of the many topics of conversation we had. So do what feels right for you and just dive in. It's never too early to ask open-ended questions and keep diving deeper into conversations when you're dating. The more you get to know each other, the more you'll know how best to move forward with your relationship. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Tilt, Transform Your Life Tuesday. If you're struggling and would like some more help, fill out the application in my bio on Instagram at the_cranky_panky. Have a great night, and we'll chat soon. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I appreciate you very much. If you love this episode, please take a screenshot and share it on your social media. Tag me at the_cranky_panky for Instagram and at @thecrankypanky for Facebook. You can find the application for mentoring at the link in my Instagram bio at the_cranky_panky. Get your application in, we'll have a chat and see if the Have Your Cake Pop and Eat It Too program is right for you. Until next time, stay in the loop.